as we continue with the latest on Xavi becoming the next Barcelona manager. It seems to be getting closer and closer. It's been all over the Catalan press, and Xavi himself has spoken out about it. This in Mundo Deportivo. Tengo muchas ganas de volver a casa. I have a lot of desire to return home, basically. So he's very much looking forward to coming home. He's giving it the thumbs up. Gab, where are we at with this situation?
Well, where we're at is that he's got a contract with Al Sadd in Qatar. Now, obviously, no team in the world is going to keep a manager who no longer wants to be there or wants to be somewhere else. But it's in everybody's interest to reach some sort of amicable solution. We saw Barcelona fly out there. And what that says to me that I think Barcelona want to resolve this in an amicable way as well. But of course, the contract says that he's an Al Sadd employee. So I would imagine whether it's some kind of compensation, I would imagine a deal can be worked out. Good thing is, with the international break coming up, they have a little bit more leeway to do so. But I'm sure Xavi wants to get his work as quickly as possible.
Frank, you played in Qatar. How transferable is playing or coaching there compared to doing so in a top 5 league or at a club like Barcelona?
Well, it's simply another world. With all due respect, I played for Al Sadd. I won the league with them. It's the club of the government, so it's a very, very it's the top club, I would say, in Qatar. But comparing to Barcelona and the pressure that Xavi is going to have there, even if he's one of them, is going to be huge. It's nice to learn the process of coaching when you are in Qatar. The pressure is less, of course, but when you're going to be on the bench of Barcelona, that's going to be different, that's for sure. But I think he's ready. He knows the house. He knows the principles. He knows how it works. I'm sure he's going to be good.
Stevie, after your time managing at the Revs in MLS, do you think you could have just made that move to the top 5 leagues and managed, say, a Liverpool?
Not a chance. Absolutely not. Listen, you know, I always think coaching at the highest level is a little bit like your playing career. You know, you need experience. You know, I didn't go from Man United and the second division in Scotland and walk into the European champions in Liverpool. I had to wait a couple of years. I had to get experience. Oh. And what experience gives you is it gives you a clear head and being able to make good decisions. That's what experience gives you. Listen, there's millions of coaches know how the game should be played and have great ideas, but it's about, can you deal with the players, and can you, at the right time, make the right decisions? And to do that, you need a clear head at all times. And when you don't have experience of pressure, certainly the pressure that he's going to get at Barcelona, I don't believe you're able to make good decisions with a clear head, and that is what his problem will be.
Frank, could this be a different situation given that it is Xavi and his growing up at Barcelona?
Well, yes, and you know, we have the exception to the rule. If I can agree with Stevie and what he just said. Guardiola had no experience whatsoever. He was in Qatar. I played against him and decided to be the coach and jump into the business, you know, playing the head coach of Barcelona with no experience whatsoever. But because, like Xavi, he knows the house, he knows how it works, he's been one of them, is part of the family. I think it's different. He exactly knows what he has to do to please the fans, to please the press, to please the people working at the club. So I think we can trust him to know that he's going to do well. Well, now he doesn't have the player that Guardiola had.
Frank, listen, you can't argue with what happened with Guardiola, but that is an absolute one-off. And the team that Guardiola had in Barcelona, the team he took over was the team he'd been working with. So it's a completely different scenario. The best scenarios are the ones that we've previously had and the ones we have now. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, after 3 years, is not able to be the head coach of a team like Manchester United. And he grew up in the Man United system. If anybody knows the building better than Ole, please tell me. And you've also got Frank Lampard, who did pretty well, But look at the difference when an experienced guy in Tuchel took over, they win the Champions League and are now arguably favourites to win the Premier League.
Gab, where do you stand on it?
Yeah, but Stevie, sorry, Stevie.
Go on, Frank.
Roberto Di Matteo got the first job at Chelsea and after 6 months won the Champions League with no experience whatsoever. So you can only find, the contrary of what you say. You know what I mean?
I get that. I get what you're saying, but I'll tell you what you're doing. You're throwing out once in a lifetime situations. We're talking about what normally happens as far as head coaching is concerned.
Gab?
I think the other big difference here, and I'm more on Stevie's side on this one, and Guardiola, of course, not only did he have Messi, he also had the buffer of the 1 year that he spent at Barcelona B before taking over. I think the other big obstacle is, and it can work both ways for Xavi, Barcelona right now are an absolute mess in a far greater way than the Chelsea team Di Matteo took over, or indeed the Barca side that Pep Guardiola took over. They're an absolute mess. There's no money. They're going to have to make further cuts. Messi's gone. So, on the one hand, that buys you time because I think people will be more patient and more understanding. On the other hand, you legitimately have very limited resources to work with, and I think that's going to be difficult for Xavi.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.